Hello everybody, my name is KingStix. In this video we're going to be looking at some pretty cool AD carry item changes. Some of them I'm really excited about, others don't make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to do my best to try to break them down and explain it. Let's just jump right into it. The main goals Riot was setting out to make was to revamp crit AD carry items and get AD carries excited about their role, since honestly AD carries have been hating their time for many months now. Just ask Tyler 1. Bear in mind that these AD carry item reworks will be dropping in 3 weeks from now, so not in patch 9.2 but in patch 9.3, so roughly 3 weeks from now. The first item is Phantom Dancer. It's getting 100 gold cheaper. However, it is losing 15% attack speed, 5% crit, and gaining 2% movement speed. It is losing both of its current passives and gaining a much better one in my opinion. Upon taking damage that would reduce health below 30%, you're granted a shield that absorbs 280 damage for 5 seconds with a 90-second cooldown. A 5-second shield is actually really freaking huge. Not only that, but this shield is a lot more impactful than the current Phantom Dancer's Lament passive, which grants 12% damage reduction against the last enemy champion you basic attack. Most assassins that are going to be bombing an AD carry are taking Ignite anyways, or have some form of true damage. So whenever they do that, that 12% won't do jack crap. Plus, if you're auto attacking somebody else, you're not going to be able to take advantage of that 12% damage reduction. It's kind of like having a Janna who actually knows when to shield you. For 100 gold cheaper for this new passive, I think it is worth dropping some of the attack speed and crit, especially with the Infinity item changes. This will make a little bit more sense. We'll get to the Infinity Edge a little bit later though. The next item getting changed is Rapid Fire Cannon. It is staying the same price. However, it is losing 5% crit chance and gaining 2% mobility. At first glance, this doesn't seem the best. However, they're making the carefull shard 200 gold easier to purchase, so you'll be able to get more out of this item before you have it finished. So even though you have 5% less crit, it's a little bit easier to build and you get 2% movement speed, so it's really not the end of the world. I'm not surprised to see them take a bit of a swing at this item, since pretty much every AD carry abuses it currently. However, instead of looking to pin one of the stronger AD carry items right now, I'd rather them see buff some of the other AD carry items instead to make them a viable option. Static Shiv is getting the same exact treatment as Rapid Fire Cannon, same exact price, losing 5% crit. However, you're going to be able to get more out of this item before you have it finished, since the carefull shard is cheaper to buy and still gives the same amount of stats. This next one I just don't understand. They are just straight up nerfing Runaan's Hurricane by 5% critical strike chance. I just don't get it. With the most overpowered, abusive, disgusting AD carry, especially in mid and high elo right now, being Lucian, somebody who doesn't even touch this item, someone who can just rush Bork and all in people. I don't know why they're nerfing this item. The only AD carries who normally build it are people like Xayah, Twitch, and 𝐒𝐿, hyper carry AD carries who aren't necessarily that great right now. So this change comes as a bit of a shock, and maybe there's just something I'm not getting here. Essence Reaver and Spear of Sojin are also getting changed. I'm not even going to mention the Spear of Sojin since it's only in Nexus Blitz. Essence Reaver is getting 200 gold more expensive, losing 15 attack damage, losing 300 mana. However, it is gaining 25% critical strike chance, and it is also gaining 0.5% more mana back on your auto attacks. This is arguably a much stronger first item to rush, since you get back more mana and it gives you crit chance. So maybe on a champion like Ashe, where she just really needs damage early on with cooldown reduction for her ultimates and a little bit of mana regen, this might actually be a really nice item for champions like Ashe to rush, since you do get that crit chance. Instead of 75 AD, if you land a crit, that's 120. That's a whole lot more. And I know it sucks losing 15 AD and 200 gold more expensive, but if you combine this with the new IE, it'll be a very tasty treat. Speaking of IE, it is getting a minor rework back to its original form. It's staying the same exact cost. It's staying 70 AD. However, it is gaining 25% critical strike chance. So big smack and AD carries like Draven can now rush this as a first item once this does does drop, and it will be a viable option. And then picking up the new Essence Reaver, which gives 25% crit and a whole bunch of utility, will be a really nice addition to this, and I think you're going to see a lot of people abusing. It is missing out on its 10% true damage, which doesn't really matter. No one's playing tanks right now for the most part. There are some tanky top laners and some tanky supports, but the tank meta in general is dead right now. So missing out on that 10% critical strike chance and trading that in for critical strikes doing 225% damage instead of 200%, that 25% more damage means more than the 10% true damage. Trust me. If you are fighting a really beefy tank, you won't be doing quite as much damage, but once you get your last whisper, you'll be tearing through them just fine. And you'll be doing a whole lot more damage to squishy champions and mages. Last Whisper right now in AD carries is kind of hard to build since it is a longsword that builds straight into Last Whisper at a fairly steep price of 950 gold after you purchase the longsword, and it only gives 10 AD and 10% total armor penetration. They're making it cost 150 more gold. At first glance, that sucks, boo-hoo. However, you're getting 10 more AD off of it, and you're also getting 10% more armor penetration. The new Last Whisper is a million times better than the old one, and you won't have to rush straight for the Lord Dominic's Regard or for the Mortal Reminder, wasting even more gold when you don't necessarily want that item, but before you're doing it just because the Last Whisper was so shit. I think most AD carries can get pretty excited about this Last Whisper change since it is kind of easier to build, even though it's more expensive. Since you can build 2 longswords, you'll be getting more out of it before you have it finished. It has an easier build path now by just stacking longswords, and it does much more for a slightly higher price. Let's recap over these changes. Last Whisper is going to be quite a bit better, just a little bit more pricey. IE is going to be a viable first item buy now, and it's going to be quite a bit stronger versus squishies. Essence Reaver is getting hit pretty hard with the 200 extra gold. However, it's going to be a really nice secondary item with the new Infinity Edge, with how much utility it gives, and the 25% crit is pretty gosh darn huge. The extra 200 gold seems like a bit much. I think what they're probably going to do is add a little bit of AD, or drop the price down by 200 and bring the AD down to 50. For some reason, they're just straight up nerfing Rune-Ons, makes absolutely 0 sense. They're basically just nerfing Static Shiv, and they're also nerfing the Rapid Fire Cannon. I can understand more with Rapid Fire Cannon, but with the Static Shiv, it doesn't make as much sense to me. And then Phantom Dancer, in my opinion, is going to get quite a bit stronger. However, they need to bring back some of its attack speed. Losing out on 15% and 5% crit seems like a bit much, even with the better passive. What they need to do is bring back at least 10% of the attack speed, or they need to bring back 5% attack speed and the 5% crit, and then the item will be fine. Those are just my thoughts. I'm interested to see what you guys think on the matter. Let me know down in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video and you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.